Gypsy Rose fans, let's watch a video clip together. I bet you thought you saw the last of me.
The way it has to be is if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you.
Because people still seem to think that she was 15 when she killed her mother. She was 23 years old.
Get the fuck out of here.
She was a month away from being 24 years old. Oh. Every single thing you've ever heard out of their mouths about this is a lie.
Oh, basically you're saying like she was a victim, but she wasn't a victim.
Well, this is the thing, okay?
Is the person that could walk.
No one is talking about this. Gypsy Rose Blanchard just announced that she is pregnant by her fiance, Ken. Now, if you've been paying attention to the Gypsy of it all, you know that when she was released from prison, she was engaged to a guy named Ryan.
Podcast, but clutch your pearls, this is a wild ass ride.
Anyway, if you put the barcode this way down, facing towards the floor, and go through the detectors, it won't go off. If it's this way, or this way, it will go off. But if it's facing down, that means the scanners won't detect it. That's just one tip. But a lot of these things that are for stealing requires a two-person job. And so take, for example, at Sam's Club. They have these...
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Huh? Yes.
Look at you.
Something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all paid. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly.
I remember Gypsy Rose actually talked about her over a year ago on my channel about how I don't fully believe everything that's being said about her, right? And or what she's saying actually happened. But let's get into these strange videos that have been discovered on the internet.
Gypsy Rose fans, let's watch a video clip together. I bet you thought you saw the last of me.
The way it has to be is if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you because you are the master of the household.
Right.
So,
Nicholas, go to John. Remember almost like 2 years ago when I said that Gypsy Rose said this, and because y'all did not believe me, y'all doxed me. You stalked my family, you sent me threats, you told me all these things. Put out where I work, where I live, my family's information, where I went to school, my full government name. Called me an evil person. All because I directly quoted a woman. She never said that. I mean, do y'all have anything to say now? That some time has passed and I feel like a lot of y'all are less scared to say an opposing view than the majority of people. Do we think we can all get on the same page at this point? Now that you've seen that, can you maybe agree with me at this point? Because I understand it was a very touchy subject whenever Gypsy Rose was released, right? But then everyone was so scared to be on the wrong side. But a lot of y'all still to this day are under her videos being like, oh my God, slay Gypsy, love you Gypsy. Y'all are literally standing this woman, supporting her. That's crazy. Have any of you changed your mind?
I'm about to play an old clip of Gypsy Rose Blanchard from the FOIA footage. Now, this footage was obtained by Into the Weeds podcast, but clutch your pearls, this is a wild ass ride.
Anyway, if you put the barcode this way down, facing towards the floor, and go through the detectors, it won't go off. If it's this way, or this way, it will go off. But if it's facing down, that means the scanners won't detect it. That's just one tip. But a lot of these things that are for stealing requires a two-person job. And so take, for example, at Sam's Club. They have these huge buggies. So say if I was to get inside the buggy and you push the buggy and just make up a story like I'm your handicapped sister or whatever, and you just put me in the buggy because I'm small for my age. So I could easily look 12 or 13. To make it easier. And so here we are going down the aisles, and I always like to have something put on top of me, something big like a pillow or something so the cameras won't catch what I'm doing. And I'll probably have a dress or something on. And I just take like movies, DVDs, and I just slip them under my dress. And we might buy like a soda or just some cheap item to say we bought something. And then there we go. Got a bunch of DVDs. What else? I also promised you, I made a deal with you that I would get you money And I will stay true to that deal. There are plenty of ways to make money. I could go as far as even to go to a bar and
selling a little
you know,
bit.
a guy might ask, "Hey, you want to with me?" and I'll give you money for it. And I might say, "Sure, yeah," and go with him, and then maybe him or whack him over the head with a bottle, take his wallet. But we have to play it smart.
Okay, pause right there. What you just watched was old footage obtained by the FOIA, which is the Freedom of Information Act. This is not new. This is not AI, and this was not taken out of context. This is actually archivable information that she herself recorded, in her own words, where she explains strategies involving theft, deception, and violence. And I'm not adding commentary to that clip itself because honestly, it speaks for itself and I don't encourage that behavior. But what matters here is the timeline. Because years later, we're told a very different story, a softer story, a rebranded story. But when you go back to the public records, you start to see the patterns, not the moments. And this isn't about cancel culture. It's about context. When somebody tells you who they are, especially on camera, it's worth listening, especially when those statements directly contradict later perspectives and narratives. I am posting this for awareness and discussion only, not endorsement, not speculation, just receipts. Watch closely, remember it, and keep that clip in your mind when you hear a different version of the story that came after. Because she says her mom made her do all this. She's on camera, making it very clear she does this. She's not new to this, she's true to this. Again, I don't condone this behavior.
Master, it is your slave, Gypsy. I'm making you this video first, just as you commanded, and I hope it pleases you. What I want to talk about is earning my white collar, because I want to be your favorite slave. I want to become the seductress princess, and I hope that this video kind of puts me a step closer to doing that and earning that.
This is another home video Gypsy took in her living room to send to Nicholas Guttajon. This is where Gypsy starts to bow to Nick before she starts talking as a way to earn her white collar. Every home video we have seen is Gypsy in the common areas of her and Dee Dee's home. She's never in her bedroom with the door closed. She's always either in the living room or the bathroom with the door open. The amount of time Gypsy had alone in the house to make these videos is shocking, considering what she's always said about her mother constantly controlling everything she did. Gypsy is lucky she took a plea deal. Had this gone to trial, I believe it would have gone a lot different for Gypsy. Prosecution would have shown these videos and it would have contradicted a lot of what Gypsy was claiming.
Okay, good morning. I want to specify at the beginning of this press conference that this is an ongoing investigation. And I want to start off with saying things are not always as they appear. The prosecutor has filed charges this morning for first-degree murder. This is a tragic event surrounded by mystery and public deception. Gypsy can walk without assistance or a wheelchair, and she can do that very well.
Kind of weird though, people seeing you in handcuffs, they give you this weird look, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like, okay, number one, I didn't kill nobody, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I didn't do nothing. I'm a good girl. Mona, your slave forever and ever. Well, today is our happy 1-year anniversary. If we would have a daughter, that upon her 13th birthday, he would take her virginity. If we have a girl, the way it has to be is if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you because you are the master of the household.
Daughter together, he would take your daughter's virginity at 13.
Correct. And I broke up with him after he said that. I'm gonna have to explain that to her whenever she comes of age where it's time to explain it. Other than that, like when she's 7, I won't explain that, but around 13, I'll explain. We had a huge argument after that. I broke up with him. I'm like, I'm done. I called him a bunch of names. I was like, I am never gonna let you do that. So you just lost me. And then he basically talked me back by saying that I would never do that. That was my other personality, but I would never let him do that. So I got back together with him.
First of all, I'm worried about this lady's child because she does have a daughter. She does have a child, right? For you to say something like this, which lets me know that she wasn't just talking, because she sounds very matter of fact in all of those videos. She was training this man to fall in love with her the way that she did. Gypsy Rose is not as... Look, Gypsy Rose could fool all of America, but she ain't gonna fool me. This is crazy. This is crazy. What do you mean he's able to take your daughters because he's the man of the house, he's the head of the house? I don't think that's what that means. Why is no one actually following the rules of being the head of the household? I'm just so confused, because people only pick and choose when this part of the Bible, you know, resonates. So then they pick that. What do you mean? Let's get into the next video, because now first of all, somebody needs to go see about this girl's daughter. Somebody needs to go see about her. What was going on in this household with Diddy?
You guys, with all of these Gypsy videos being released, I have some thoughts, okay? Now, these videos were recorded in 2013, which is 2 years before the crime, okay, and sent to Nick. Now, I want to go over the one that I find most disturbing, and I'm going to play it here.
And if we have a girl, the way it has to be is if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you because you are the master of the household. So I'm gonna have to explain that to her whenever she comes of age where it's time to explain it. Other than that, like when she's 7, I won't explain that.
Yeah, you can see why that's disturbing, because she has a daughter now, okay? And in multiple interviews since her release, she has stated that Nick was the one who initiated that thought, and that's the reason why she broke up with him. Okay, so that's lie number like 50 or something, right? Now I want to play just one more clip that I found to be really disturbing, besides like the whole thing, because the whole thing was disturbing. But check this out.
There are plenty of ways to make money. I could go as far as even to go to a bar and, you know, a guy might ask, hey, you want to with me and I'll give you money for it? And I might say, sure, yeah. And go with him and then maybe him or whack him over the head with a bottle, take his wallet. But we have to...
And that one goes to show how she could just be violent with, you know, a stranger at just like this, with no remorse, no thought. It's just like, okay, let's do this, you know? But I think this is just the beginning, you know? I think we're gonna be seeing a lot more stuff, okay? So all of y'all haters that were in my comments defending her, where y'all at now? No, but let me know what you guys think about this in the comments, please, because this is crazy.
Wearing a white bow in my hair, I thought that it would be calming, and also a white shirt. I thought that it would make you calmer and be more relaxed. This is a direct order from your wife.
This is a video Gypsy had sent to Nicholas Godejohn when he was preparing to go to court over what is known as the McDonald's incident. Nick had a pocket knife on him and was touching himself inappropriately inside the McDonald's for hours. He had court for this and was potentially facing jail time. Gypsy made a video trying to help calm him and guiding him in what he should or shouldn't do.
Remember to be respectful to the judge. And remember your manners. Don't let Master out, because I know Master has a way of being authoritative, and that is attractive to me, but it won't be attractive to the judge.
Nicholas Godejohn was charged with disorderly conduct and carrying a concealed weapon. The concealed weapon charge was dismissed, and he was ordered to pay a fine for the disorderly conduct charge. He did not receive any jail time.
So according to the movie and also the case of Gypsy Rose, allegedly this young lady at around that age where she's making the video, she didn't even know what age she was. And also her mom was so in control of her entire life that she couldn't make any decisions. But this girl looked like she was playing a role. Because what do you mean, ma'am, that you're helping this man, that you're grooming? Because that's what it was. This man, apparently he has some sort of special needs, but you're grooming him. You knew well enough to tell him what to do in the courts, right? That's around the time that you can't even think for yourself because your mother is in charge. And that's the reason why you had to get him to unalive your own mother, because you wanted that Prince Charming to save you. But it seemed as though you were the one in control of everything based on these videos. You were supposed to be in a wheelchair, can't even walk. And there's a video that I posted a while back, which I'll try to find, of people actually spotting you walking when you weren't supposed to be walking.
No one is talking about this. Gypsy Rose Blanchard just announced that she is pregnant by her fiance, Ken. Now, if you've been paying attention to the Gypsy of it all, you know that when she was released from prison, she was engaged to a guy named Ryan. Pause there. Before Ryan, she was engaged to Ken. Ken was her pen pal while she was in prison. Gypsy broke off her engagement with Ken while she was in prison. She leaves prison while engaged to Ryan, another pen pal that she met while she was in prison. And then she breaks up with Ryan and gets back with Ken. Now, it's all documented on her Lifetime show. She talks about the fact that, she had two loves of her life. Like, Ken was the love of her life, and Ryan became the love of her life. And then her and Ryan just didn't see eye to eye on things. Allegedly, Ryan was trying to keep her away from reuniting with her family, and Gypsy didn't like that, and she was standing on her business as she should, and was like, no, I want to prioritize my family. I've been separated from them for all this time. I want to be with my family, as she should. Ryan wasn't supportive. Amongst other things, I guess he was eating the food in the fridge. I'm still confused by that part. He was giving her a lot of anxiety. Gypsy was like, no, gotta go. Breaks up with Ryan. But they are not divorced yet. And now, this week, Gypsy announced that she and Ken are pregnant. This is why this is a problem. According to a creator on TikTok named Tiny Sparks, in the state of Missouri, where she got married to Ryan, you cannot legally divorce while you are pregnant. In the state of Missouri, if you are pregnant while you are married, that baby automatically, legally, is the person that you are married to's child. So legally, the baby that Gypsy is pregnant with currently, which there is some speculation as to whether or not the baby is biologically Ryan's or Ken's, just because of the timeline of it all, of when she would have gotten pregnant. Legally, regardless of biological anything, the baby that Gypsy is pregnant with is Ryan's. This is fucking crazy for a multitude of reasons, because what in the hell in The Handmaid's Tale is going on around here? How is it that you can be pregnant by someone and you say that this is their baby, but the government says, no, it's not their baby, it's your husband's baby? Yes, I get it, but no. Anyways, long story short, after Gypsy gives birth, she is then going to be required by law to get a DNA test of that baby to see if it is biologically Ken's or if it is biologically Ryan's baby. I think it's very, very unfair, but the point is that people are saying she should not have announced that she was pregnant knowing this information. Maybe Gypsy does not know the laws of Missouri. Maybe she's not aware of this. I certainly had no fucking clue. But the point of the matter is, Ryan is now legally responsible for that baby until it is proven to be Ken's baby biologically via the state. It sucks for Ryan because he lost the love of his life. She's now moved on and is happy with this other man, her true love, that he was worried about the whole time while they were together. On top of that, it sucks for Gypsy. She's pregnant, and who wants to be going through this stress while they're pregnant? It's bullshit. The laws are bullshit, frankly. And then I guess it sucks for Ken too. Legally, your baby belongs to another man? What? Child, this is why y'all gotta get out and vote. Okay, so that Ken can get his baby back. Ooh, Lord, Gypsy. The real world is ghetto, girl. You might have been happier in jail. I don't know. I don't know. The laws and the government are looking like jail to me. Ghetto, 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 nasty. Nasty work.
It's just probably not a good idea. I don't know what to tell you.
What do you think about the new video?
Somebody said that's your daughter.
Well, I hope they all come out soon.
You're hoping for them to come out?
Yeah, I want all of them to come out.
Gypsy's not worried?
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
I think that it's important for everyone to see everything.
Phoenix, hold on when it drops so Audrey can come up.
Okay, so everyone has been asking, what does Ken think? Has Ken listened to the videos? Has he watched the videos? These new videos that was released from the police department via FOIA. The videos of Gypsy telling Nicholas, when we have a daughter, you will take her V. I will explain this to her, you know, not when she's 7, but when she's around the age of 13, I'll let her know this. You have to be the one to do it because you are the master, our family's master, the master of the family, right? A lot of people's been like, wonder what Ken's going to say now. Wonder how Ken feels. Well, you guys, there was just a very short clip of Ken saying he doesn't care. Not only that, but saying that he will be happy when all of the clips come out. They asked, well, how does Gypsy feel? And he said the same thing. Yeah, she's fine with it. Like, she doesn't mind. She'll be happy when they all come out too. And to me, that is so manipulative. That is so manipulative. It is preemptive framing. It is narrative control. They're literally like trying to look confident and innocent. It's like they're trying to say, you know, for all the people that support Gypsy, they're like, see, like, we just need to, everything needs to come out. Once everything comes out, then we're going to see who the real victim is. You know, little bits and pieces coming out so far, like, we still don't know. Gypsy wants us to see everything because Gypsy is confident when we see everything, then, like, we'll know the truth. We'll know the whole story. That's basically what they're doing here. They're acting like once we hear it all, then we will see that she's like not the victim and that she was being controlled by him. So I think that's being very manipulative for them because Gypsy has already admitted that she was, you know, she shouldn't have done it. That, I mean, literally, I was just watching a clip the other day where she was in jail. She was wearing a white and black stripe jail outfit, and she was meeting with her dad and Christy. She had a little bit longer hair, so she had been in jail for a while. She had just taken her plea deal, and they were kind of upset about the length of time, you know, within the plea that 10 years. They were a little upset about it. And she said, well, you know, something along the lines, not verbatim, but she said, well, you know, had I not taken a plea deal, I probably would have got life in prison. Not only has she said that, but her attorney has also said that when he watched some of these videos, he knew like he had his work cut out for him and they really didn't have much of a choice but to take a plea deal because these videos would have literally, it would have been case closed, nail in the coffin for her, right? I would love to hear Ken talk more in depth about it, but this is all we have right now for my knowledge is him saying like, no, don't care. Can't wait for more to come out. We want them all to come out. And that's all we know right now of him saying. But if he says anything else, I'll be sure to let you guys know. What do you guys think about Gypsy claiming that she wants them all to come out? Leave me your thoughts and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys. Oh, and don't forget to hit that follow button. Bye guys.
I came across this interview from Unwind with Tasha K that was created since 2024 of this lady who was being interviewed by her because she was actually being sued by Gypsy Rose and her family allegedly. And this interview was so juicy and she was exposing a whole lot of stuff. I want you guys to watch it because this explains a whole lot that is being exposed right now. Meanwhile, people were basically worshiping Gypsy Rose. People were waiting for her to come out. I mean, there was a whole countdown. And when she came out, she was talking about this D is fire. She was doing all of this. Broke up with her husband, which was her pen pal. Got with the other guy that she was also talking to while she was in jail. Gypsy Rose is that black widow that, you know, she pretends that she's not, but really she is. She's very, very resistant. Let's get to this interview because it exposed a whole lot. And I'm starting to see everything that I thought about right before my eyes. So let's get into this because somebody's lying. Gypsy all have
actually being for Gypsy in the beginning. That's how you got all the information. And then as you were developing this series, you started to uncover more. You was like, well, we're not dealing with a victim.
Well, in the history of ever, Tasha, when have we ever listened to what a murderer says about their victim? No murderer has ever come out and been like, yup, I did it, and they were awful, and I hated them, and that's why I did it.
You are going to be the first on record to state that this whole thing that we've ever known about Gypsy Rose was a scam.
The only person who should be in trouble for leaking her medical information should be her stepmother. Yes, if they didn't want it out there, then they shouldn't have given it to everybody like it was fucking candy.
Oh.
You gave it to HBO, you gave it to A&E, you gave it to bloggers, you gave it to podcasters, you gave it to the stalker lady on the street that freaking, you gave them to everyone. You can no longer claim that they're private when you gave them to anyone and everyone that spoke to you.
And then they tried to turn around and sue
me. And sue me. Because I have them.
That's why the government don't like white women, because y'all be finding out everything. The only time I've ever heard of that chromosome deletion is from your parents or cousins, or they're somewhere around there, like in West Virginia, babe.
Tasha K did an interview with Fancy, which is who Gypsy and her family tried. This is only going to be available on her website. So Nina is going to stream this on her backup account tonight. If you guys want to watch, I'll tag her down below.
Because people still seem to think that she was 15 when she killed her mother. She was 23 years old.
Get the fuck out of here.
She was a month away from being 24 years old. Every single thing you've ever heard out of their mouths about this is a lie.
Oh, basically you're saying like she was a victim, but she wasn't a victim.
Well, this is the thing. Okay, so for all these years, we've been told this story of just massive abuse. She didn't need any of the things that were done to her. She has no long-lasting effects. All of that, correct?
Right.
That's a lie. That's all a lie.
Oh.
Every single thing you've ever heard out of their mouths about this is a lie.
Oh.
Even if you go and you talk to like Sheriff Arnott or the sheriff's department that was investigating it in the beginning, they're not happy with how this came out because they were going for a completely different story. They were going after a financial fraud story, long-term con that turned ugly.
Basically, her and her mother were scamming.
Yes. But in 2011, what changes the whole thing, and see, we only found this out this last year. We've had the medical records since 2017, 2018. We started getting them from Christy and Gypsy signing off on giving them to us. And see, the thing is we got thousands and thousands and thousands of those, and my medical staff went through them, but there was one piece missing, and that was the fact that she's saying there's no long-term effects. But in 2011, and she has now admitted this herself, that they did know about it, that they were informed about it, and that she has this. She has a chromosome disorder that she was born with. It is not from Dee Dee's side. It comes from Rod's side, and all four of his children have the facial markers for it.
I was gonna say her face look a bit slow.
Yeah, I've talked to just tons and tons of Munchausen by proxy experts. We've talked to psychologists. I've talked to investigators, and not a single one of them could give me a plausible explanation of what I was looking at, that this was Munchausen by proxy. We had our staff looking at all of this, and they're looking at it going, okay, these records look unremarkable, but she doesn't have any long-term effects, so then this all has to be untrue. But the thing is she does have long-term lasting effects. She does have eye problems. She did have ear problems. She did have feeding tube problems, feeding problems, failure to thrive. She was diagnosed with a muscular problem. They didn't figure it out until 2011.
Are you saying that her mother knew about this?
Yes, her entire family knew about this.
It's kind of like when you have kids, you don't have money, you get on welfare, but you take it to a whole nother level. When we see the movie, it's like, oh my God, like how could her mother do that? And so when she turned around and killed her mom, it kind of made sense. But what always just kind of like really just kind of rubbed me the wrong way was like, why did she still end up going to jail?
Because people still seem to think that she was 15 when she killed her mother. She was 23 years old.
Get the fuck out of here.
She was a month away from being 24 years old. She had been in on the con for a very long time. My thought process, okay, so she's given me several different scenarios. And if you listen to her stories always just change, like depending on who she's talking to. It'll be the same exact tale of whatever it is, but it's got completely different details, or it happened at a different time, or there's something just wrong with that story, or she embellishes something. And so you're like, what is the truth in all of this? But if you look at it, you begin to uncover patterns of things that they say. So you can begin to see like, oh, I caught you there. That's where that is. Like, you know, so first story she told me was that the first time she knew something wasn't right was at 5 years old, when she was supposed to have her first hearing test, and she got the first miracle ear in Louisiana at the time. Like, they had never had a miracle ear hearing aid donation at that time. It was being, you know, it was just now coming out at the time that she did this. So this is a 5 years old. Her mom weaseled her way back into the hearing room with her, because, you know, they're not supposed to do that. It's supposed to keep the test, you know, pure, right? But her mom kept telling them, oh, well, it's going to be, you know, she gets really panicked if I'm not with her, or da 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 da. So then she literally, you know, told her how to squeeze her hand to tell her what was a hearing test and what was not a hearing test. You know, hear that? If I squeeze this, you're going to hear it. And if I don't squeeze, you don't hear it. And so that was at 5 that she says that she started with that. You know, was she groomed to do this? For sure. But this is what this family does. It's a generational con. It's a generational thing with specifically the women in this family.
So Gypsy Rose grandmother was doing all this shit too?
Yes, to her mother as well. Yes. Just sit in this wheelchair when we go out in public. We'll get lots of money. You'll get to go anywhere you want. Okay. If you look at the crime scene photos, there is absolutely no way that a wheelchair could get around that crime scene in any way, shape, or form. And there's 5 of them in the house. 2 for Dee Dee and 3 for Gypsy, placed throughout the house. There's no marks on the carpet that shows a wheelchair has ever gone in there. It's so cluttered and so wall to ceiling, just everything. There's no
So they
way.
were hoarding.
Yeah, so they're hoarding, and she's got stuff all over the windows so nobody can see in. So they did whatever they wanted in the house. Just sit in this wheelchair when we go out in public. We'll get lots of money. You'll get to go anywhere you want. Okay.
Damn.
And I really think that started at probably 5 to 7 years old. I think she understood that what they were doing. I don't think she knew how, you know, she was obviously participating because her mother told her. But when you're getting to 14 years old, she did not leave Louisiana until she was 14 years old. You know, so she's sitting here trying to say, well, I never had candles on my birthday cake. Yes, you did. I have pictures of you with candles on your birthday cake. And your family is now trying to say they haven't seen you since you were 6, but we have this picture of them right here where they saw you. And you are definitely not 6. So what are we talking about here? Like, and that's where we're at. And
so you think she used all of this as a defense?
Yep.
And that's
it got her plea.
Because I was trying to figure out, I was like, if she was truly like a real victim, she wouldn't be in jail.
Yeah, you're right. What Gypsy Rose did was she was in no danger at any time. She was not having multiple procedures done that she didn't need. All the procedures she had done were medically necessary. She was lying. They were conning charities and individuals. They made a mistake. They gave me a person who wasn't going to stop looking like everyone else. Gypsy really is the one towards the end there that I think was running the show. Can I prove that? No, we've heard stories. We've heard tales of them. You know, people saw her out walking around and they knew it was her. There was several different cases of fraud opened up in that area so that the people knew. The community that she lived in, the habitat community that she lived in, was heavily involved in the con community that she was going to, like the Comic-Cons and everything. Yeah. And she had already been caught twice with older men and had IDs and everything else. She had an ID that proved she was over the age of 18. So how can you sit here and tell me you didn't know how you were 18? You knew exactly how old you were. Don't tell me you don't know because you don't have candles on your cake at 8 years old. You did. I have a picture of you.
And see, that's ultimately why I believe she filed the lawsuit against you, is because you had all this.
I have all this.
And so this was her way of trying to silence you from putting it out.
It is. It's silencing my First Amendment rights. Absolutely. They made a mistake. They gave me a person who wasn't going to stop looking like everyone else. All the other people that they've worked with in the past, they've been able to control. And the ones that they haven't been able to control don't work with them, such as Hulu, The Act. Did not work with them. Michelle Dean, after she wrote her BuzzFeed article, and she went to Hulu and sold them the act and was working with them. I'm actually part of the people on the Blanchard side that was trying to help negotiate that, because the act didn't want them involved at all, because they were concerned that they would change the narrative. And they have. That's all they've ever done is change the narrative.
Everything we've been told about this Gypsy Rose Blanchard story and how her mother victimized her, and as a result, it's kind of like, you know, a girl getting taken and her pimp abuses her, but she loves her pimp, but she turns around and kills her pimp. She still ends up going to jail because she knows that murder is wrong, but at the same time, like, the pimp was obviously taking advantage of her.
Like Centoya Brown. Like Centoya Brown, which I totally get that. That's self-defense.
Right.
What Centoya Brown did was self-defense. What Gypsy Rose did was she was in no danger at any time. She was not having multiple procedures done that she didn't need. All the procedures she had done were medically necessary. She was lying. They were conning charities and individuals. They were not actually going to the hospital and treating things that didn't exist. That's what a Munchausen by proxy mom does.
So when Gypsy Rose first came out, she was on her little hobo tour going on all these different interviews. And there's one thing that she said that stuck with me. It's the fact that she was pretending as if she did not do any of the unaliving. She did not do it because that is the reason why the man is still in jail and she is out, because she wasn't the one who did the actual unaliving. Well, there's a video that I could not find of what has been released. She was basically talking about how she has the spirit of a dog. So basically in her previous life, she was a dog, right? So she's in the body of Gypsy Rose. So she pretends as if she has multiple personalities. She's in the body of Gypsy Rose. She says she can harm and unalive anyone she wants, right? That's what she says, word coming out straight out of her mouth, allegedly. But the only thing is, she could not unalive her own mother, which is Diddy. So that is the reason why she recruited this man and brainwashed him into doing that, because she knew he was
Mona, and I'm the powerful part of her. I'm the fun part of her. I'm the part of her that she wouldn't survive with in 5 minutes without me. I'm the reason that she has you. So, I'm guessing that you love me and adore me, as you have said. And now I'm going to tell you why you love and adore me. It's because I will do anything you say. Even if I don't like it, just like she will, but I'll do it with a smile on my face and make you think that I like it. Like her, I'll do and say and speak and practically be your little puppet. And we'll have a very good time together. I was enjoying that little thing we had going earlier. Hopefully, maybe one day we can do that in person. I know that we've talked, and at times I could be a little bit stubborn, but hey, you'll get to love that in time. Maybe in time you might get rid of that part of me. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. What else? Oh, right. About adoring you. I think that you're the most sexiest, hot, I want to fuck you till your ears bleed kind of guy. And I will. So, to you, I pledge my life, my love, my admiration, and my everlasting enslavement to you. I hope that you will have a happy life with me, and I hope I will please you in so many ways, and I hope that I could be worthwhile to both of you, because it's not just Nick that's my soulmate, it's you, and you are both people that I love and cannot live without. Whenever, I'll admit this, because I know I'm not really the kind of person that takes responsibility sometimes, but I'll admit that I was the reason that Gypsy broke up with Nick. I told her to do it because I told her that she couldn't handle you. That's why I told her to do it, even though she loves you with all her heart, as I do, as I love you. But I thought maybe she couldn't handle you. So I thought they should break it off. But as 3 hours into it, we broke down and started crying and realized that we couldn't live without you. So I'm happy that we're back together now because I was planning to kill myself. I had the pills or a kitchen knife, whatever one felt right. I think a kitchen knife would have felt right because I felt like I had a dagger in my heart. I don't want to feel that way again, and I don't want to lose you or lose him. So please trust me when I say I won't mess up again. I love and adore you both so much, and I hope to be worth your while. The plan for if we have a boy first, we're gonna protect him and protect our children from the outside world because they can't know about us. They can't know about you being a vampire. But we're gonna protect them and keep them educated on what not to say in front of people and make sure that they understand the severity of keeping this secret. And if we have a girl, the way it has to be is if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you because you are the master of the household. So
this is sick.
I'm going to have to explain that to her whenever she comes of age where it's time to explain it. Other than that, like when she's 7, I won't explain that, but around 13, I'll explain.
And then Nick told you at one point that if y'all ever had a daughter together, he would take your daughter's virginity at 13.
Correct. And I broke up with him after he said that.
Really?
We had a huge argument after that. I broke up with him. I'm like, I'm done. I called him a bunch of names. I was like, I am never gonna let you do that. So you just lost me. And then he
That's not what happened.
basically talked me back by saying, I would never do that. That was my other personality, but I would never let him do that. So I got back together with him based on his promises.
And he had an alter ego, essentially, or the other personality. That was Victor?
He had
a few. Okay.
So there is Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She is the only reason we even know about this story, from my understanding. The only reason we even know that their future daughter was going to be SA'd by Nicholas was because Gypsy came out to say that, but she always blamed it on Nicholas. She always said, yeah, Nicholas wanted to do this to paint Nicholas out. You know, not saying Nicholas don't have his issues. Clearly he does. But to make it like the worst of the worst. Nicholas wanted to SA our daughter. Like he said he was going to do that. That's when I knew I had to get away from him. She's always been the one to say that this happened. And now, after new footage, never before seen footage, never before seen by the public, is released, obtained through a FOIA, showing Gypsy herself sending Nicholas a video to celebrate their 1-year anniversary of her saying that that's what she wants them to do. Not Nicholas, but she's saying that. She sounds like she's A-okay with the plan. Sounds like she's the one that made the plan. Once again, Gypsy lies. Gypsy lies, you guys. I've been covering the videos that are coming out over on my YT channel. I have 2 lives up already where we go over several of the videos. If you guys want to run over there and check it out, you can. I'm going to continue to keep up with this situation. Also, there is another live scheduled by Into the Weeds tomorrow, Saturday at 5 p.m. I don't know if it's Central Time, but they're going to go live, and I suppose they're going to show more videos obtained through the FOIA. I'm not going to be able to watch tomorrow, but Monday I will be going live to update you guys on any new videos that come out. So make sure you go follow me over on YT. You guys, and your thoughts, follow this account, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
The videos of Gypsy Rose Blanchard that have been newly released, it does not give you the feeling at all that at any moment in these videos she seems nervous, she's on alert. There is no evidence that shows that Gypsy Rose Blanchard was ever afraid that her mother would walk in to her recording these videos. And I thought too that she had to steal this cell phone or camera or whatever she used to record these videos, and her mother didn't even know she had it, which we know is false because she had videos with Dee Dee in them. So if Gypsy was really somebody who was fearful of their mother, don't you think that she would be making these videos when Dee Dee is asleep? And Gypsy would be whispering, super afraid of possibly getting caught by her mother. She would be very cautious about it. So I don't care what anyone says. If, oh, well, Dee Dee wasn't home. Okay. Dee Dee could have walked through that door at any moment, and Gypsy would not have time to strip from the wigs and the clothing. And, you know, like, it just doesn't line up to what Gypsy has said about her mother. It just doesn't. I was never abused as a child, okay? Let's just say, for example, I wanted to have a boy over and my mom went out somewhere and I didn't know exactly the time she was gonna be home. I wouldn't invite a boy over in that time. It would be when my mother went to sleep. That is when somebody logically would do something if they know that they would get in trouble for it. And as Gypsy says, how her mother, you know, once chained her to a bed. If Dee Dee was really that horrible to Gypsy and punished Gypsy in a really horrible way, don't you think Gypsy would be more cautious when making these videos? I don't think she would be doing them broad daylight when her mother could be home at any moment. I don't think she would be in the videos looking calm, taking her sweet time. I think that she would be making the videos at night, whispering in her room if she was that scared of Dee Dee's punishments. What do you guys think? Comment down below.
I think I might have one of the most coherent, psychologically grounded takes on Gypsy Rose's case. And before I get into it, I need to say this clearly. This case is morally messy, not clean, and I'm going to talk about it without defending murder and without pretending Gypsy's innocent. If you need a simple hero or a villain, this isn't going to be for you. Now let's get into it. Why the story keeps getting misunderstood. People keep trying to reduce this case to extremes. Either Gypsy was a completely helpless victim or she's a cold-blooded monster. But real trauma, real dysfunction, and real accountability don't work like that. Now let's get into the part nobody wants to talk about. Dee Dee's role. Dee Dee was not mentally healthy. She had deep emotional wounds. She was literally also a victim, okay, of the same thing that Gypsy was. She has emotional wounds, abandonment issues, and an extreme need to feel needed. Rod left her, her relationship failed, and over time, Gypsy became her entire emotional world. Dee Dee didn't just love Gypsy, she emotionally depended on her. Being the caregiver gave her identity, purpose, control, and validation. That doesn't make Dee Dee innocent, but it explains why she couldn't tolerate Gypsy growing up and becoming independent. This is a big part. Now, let's get into what the abuse actually was. The abuse was primarily emotional. I don't believe it was physical. Dee Dee's love was conditional. Gypsy learned that being sick, small, dependent, and childlike meant comfort, attention, and safety. Adulthood independence and sexuality threatened that bond. So Gypsy learned to hide those parts of herself and perform what was expected in order to stay loved. That's emotional abuse. She controlled her identity and development and, growing up. Now let's get into how Gypsy adapted and where responsibility begins. Gypsy adapted by performing. She learned that exaggeration worked, that lying worked, that playing helpless brought protection, sympathy, housing, money, and attention. And yes, she benefited. By the time she was an adult, this wasn't passive anymore. She was participating, she was shaping the narrative, and she was maintaining the role. Now let's talk about Nick. This is where things get kind of uncomfortable. We really need to talk about it though, because this is where a lot of people oversimplify. Nick is autistic. He had significant developmental, cognitive, and emotional limitations. This doesn't make him innocent, but it does matter. Their relationship was built almost entirely in fantasy, roleplay, online personas, stories, alternate identities. Gypsy had lived her entire life in fantasy, stories, characters, imagined versions of love, and she pulled Nick into that world. I don't think this was pure manipulation in like the cartoon villain sense. I think it was two emotionally and developmentally stunted people feeding into a shared fantasy, with Gypsy having more control over that fantasy played out. Now, let's get into the murder. Nick did the actual stabbing. That is a fact. But here's the part people need to be honest about. We don't actually know everything that happened that night. We were not there. We don't know the full dynamics in that room, and it's reasonable to still question Gypsy's level of participation. What we do know is this. She helped plan it, she facilitated it, and she wanted the outcome. And that means responsibility, even if she didn't hold the knife. Now, let's talk about the sentencing. Here's where I think the system failed. Nick received life without parole, Gypsy took a plea deal and walked free. I don't believe that's justice. If accountability matters, then fairness matters too. Nick deserves a fair trial that actually considers his cognitive limitations and the psychological context, not just a life sentence while the other person becomes a public figure. Now let's talk about what happened after the murder. The narrative kept changing. Details got darker. Abuse got bigger. The story got cleaner. Not because there was no emotional abuse, but because exaggeration made the murder easier to justify. And that's where people started losing trust, because she started exaggerating things because she did that to justify murder. And let's talk about what this really was. This isn't good versus evil. It was a deeply enmeshed, emotionally unhealthy relationship that expanded into a fantasy-based partnership and ended in violence. Dee Dee emotionally abused and depended on Gypsy. Gypsy learned to lie, manipulate, and chose violence. Nick carried out the act with a distorted psychological dynamic. All of that can be true at the same time. And this last part is for Gypsy. Gypsy, this isn't about hate, it's about accountability. You need real therapy, not to rewrite the past, but to fix your moral compass. To stop lying, to stop manipulating, to be honest about what was emotional abuse and what was performance. And you need to come clean all the way about the exaggerations, about the lies, about the parts you played. People see it now. The contradictions are there. Real accountability means owning everything, not just what makes you look sympathetic. Your mother emotionally depended on you and abused that bond, but she did not deserve to die, and justice shouldn't be selective. Healing doesn't come from performing forever. It comes from telling the truth, even when it makes you uncomfortable.
And it seems as though she's the one that runs the show. Why? Because even when she was in jail, she was engaged to the Ryan guy, the Brian O'Ryan, the bigger guy. She was messaging other guys that she was seeing before, and she was basically gaslighting him into thinking he should be okay with her writing. I cannot find these videos to share with you guys, but it's somewhere on the internet. You'll find it. It's one of those little videos that she was making. She's basically telling this man that, hey, you shouldn't be upset that I'm looking in or talking to the other guys because they were there before you. I have the right to be in love with two people at the same time. You know, they've been there, and I can never let go of the people who are in my life. It's a whole lot of gaslighting. It's a whole lot of, look, I'm here for you. I'm in love with you, but you have to understand that my heart can be shared with other people. Meanwhile, she's in jail and they're out. This girl basically manipulated all these people, including America, including the guys that she was with, and that is the reason why she's bouncing from one man to the other, because Hey guys, I'm Jenny, and this is Shameless Plug. So I want to tell you guys about my Crown of Success manifestation book with easy, simple rituals and spells to manifest a life of abundance in your life. And those spells are so easy, even a child can do it. So this book is filled with different spells that I've learned over the years from my family, passed down from grandma and everything. And also those are spells that I've actually tried and I know that they work. So this book not only teach you step by step on the things that you can do that are so easy that a child can do it, but it tells you like the proper moon phase to use, alchemy, manifesting with numbers, numerology, and also the days of the week that best fit for this particular spell. So it tells you the timing of when to practice the spell, the days of the week, the moon phase. It shows you all the colors of the candles that you should be using and different planets. So for example, it shows you like planet Jupiter is for Thursdays and the hours of the days that you should be doing the spell. So this is an easy road opener spell. So I know a lot of people like to do like different spell work, but if your roads are blocked, of course your spells are not going to work. So it's good to unblock yourself first and then start using the spell, especially with the new years and the new days to come. And also I have some amazing spells in here. This is a powerful quick money spell. So if you're in a bind for some money and you're just trying to get some money, and I even have some easy powerful spell to win Game of Champs. So if you are a gambler, now I don't promote gambling, but if you are a gambler and you're just trying to make some money and trying to make sure you win, these spells will definitely help you. It tells you the best days to do it. So it says the best days to perform this spell is on a Thursday, Jupiter day. Jupiter is the planet of good fortune, luck, and expansion. Jupiter is the best day to perform spells that boost luck and increase your chance of success in any game of chance or any money spell, period. It has a list of so many spells that you can incorporate in your life with this new year to bring prosperity. And I even put some bonus spells on here, which for Saturday is a day to do like protection work. So I have a spell for like send back to senders. So I put some bonus spells on here, and then a protection with Archangel Michael. So there's so many spells on here. Removing the evil eye spell, so you can remove evil eye in your money and also in your everyday life. New Year home blessing spell, and I know it's been a few days since the new year started, but you can always do a home blessing spell any days of the week. As long as you need it, you could do it. So anyways, guys, this is my book. It's called Crown of Success by Jenny, and it's available on Amazon, the ebook and also the physical copying. So please grab a copy if you're interested in supporting this channel. This is a way to support the channel and to support me as well for putting out, content every day for you guys. So enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book, and I hope you go and grab your copy, whether it's the ebook or the physical copy. I say have a physical copy, but it's really up to how much, your wallet and what you can afford. So anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Mwah. This is a shameless plug, so just check out my channel, okay? Love you guys. Mwah.